Hi, Mrs. Young here, and today we are going to talk about arthropods. So arthropods are invertebrates with an external skeleton, segmented bodies, and jointed appendages. The word arthropod, arthro actually means joint, and pod means foot or leg, so jointed leg. So some characteristics of arthropods are that they have an exoskeleton. And exo, that means outside. So the exoskeleton is a waxy, waterproof outer skeleton. This helps with protection, it prevents water loss, and the unique thing about the exoskeleton is that it doesn't grow. So animals, as they get bigger, they periodically have to shed their exoskeleton, and this is called molting. So the process of shedding an outgrown exoskeleton. You can kind of think of an exoskeleton like a suit of armor. So the suit of armor on a knight wouldn't grow. So as the knight got bigger, their armor would get too tight, so they'd have to get a new set. So they also have segmented bodies. Now, arthropods, depending on the type, can have up to 3 body segments. And when they have 3, they consider it usually to be a head, a midsection, and a hind section. So then they also have the jointed appendages. So that can be either wings, legs, mouth parts, or a combination of those. The jointed appendages give the animal flexibility, and it allows them to move, obtain food, reproduce, and sense the environment. Most arthropods have antennas, which are sense organs that are attached to the head. So there's 4 major groups. We have our crustaceans, our insects, our arachnids, and our centipedes or millipedes. So here's a great chart that kind of compares arthropods and the 4 groups. So crustaceans, when it comes to body segments, they have 2 or 3. They have 5 or more pairs of legs. And they have 2 pairs of antennae. For the arachnids, they have 2 body segments, 4 pairs of legs. So if you think of a spider, the spider has 8 legs, so 4 pairs. And arachnids actually don't have any antennae. Then when it comes to the centipedes and the millipedes, they have 2 body sections, and they have many pairs of legs, 1 pair of antennae. And with the insects, they have their 3 body sections, their 3 pairs of legs, and 1 pair of antennae. So let's take a closer look at crustaceans. Crustaceans live in watery environments, and they use gills to obtain oxygen. So examples of these are lobsters, crayfish, shrimp, and crabs. Our second group is the arachnids. Now, normally when you think of arachnids, you just think spiders, but it's more than just spiders. There's spiders, mites, ticks, and scorpions. These are all considered arachnids because they have a head and a midsection that's combined, and their abdomen has reproductive and digestive systems. And then the way that they feed is that they have these hollow fangs that they inject venom into their prey, and that venom basically turns their insides to mush, and then the arachnid uses those fangs to suck out the insides of the prey. Third, we have our millipedes and our centipedes. Now, the word milli means 1,000 and peds means feet or legs. Well, they don't really have 1,000 legs. It seems like it, but they don't. And centipedes, that means 100. Centim means 100, and peds, once again, means foot or legs, but they don't have 100 either. They have a head, and then they have segmented bodies with a pair of legs that's attached to each section. Millipedes are considered to be scavengers, and centipedes are considered to be predators. So our last group are insects. These are the most common arthropods. They have 1 or 2 pairs of wings, and they are the only invertebrate that can fly. And with insects, all of them go through some form of metamorphosis. So I know that's a term that we've heard a lot, metamorphosis. It's just a process in which dramatic changes in form occur during an animal's life cycle. So the one that I always think of is the caterpillar to a butterfly. So here you can see on insects, they have their 3 body sections. We have the head, which has the brain and the eyes. And usually the eyes, they are compound eyes. And what a compound eye is just basically a bunch of lenses all put together to make up the eye. So they can see all around them. And then they also have their antenna. The second part is the thorax. This is where you're going to have your legs and your wings. And then the abdomen, which is the hind section. This is where the internal organs are. They also have small holes to allow oxygen into the body, into the cells. So examples of insects would be like bees or crickets or butterflies, grasshoppers, all of those. So that's a little bit about arthropods, and I hope that was helpful.